Hi, I'm Teryn and welcome back to my channel if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new. In this video, I'm going to be talking about BBL Fashion. First, I forgot to do this, but I want to start off by talking about comment of the week. So this week's comment of the week is such a sweet comment. It was actually super nice. The comment is, "Girl, your skin looks flawless. I just started watching you today. I see the progress, honey." That comment is so sweet. Yes, that is the comment of the week, and definitely subscribe for more skincare content and give me more ideas. But going into this video, I have my notes. So what is a BBL? A BBL is a Brazilian butt lift, and they have definitely gotten more popular over the past 5 years, I would say. I know previously it was all about butt shots, like who got shots in their butt, but now it's this procedure where they take out fat and put it in your hips and your butt area. And I will put a link to the American Board of Cosmetic Surgery. I believe that's the name of it if you want more information about that. I'm not an expert on cosmetic surgery. I'm not against it. And this video is not to bash anyone that has gotten a BBL. Do what you want to do as long as it's on your terms. Now that we talked a little bit about what a BBL is, and if you're watching this video, I assume you already know, fashion is just a style of dress. It could be a trend, was popular, where that kind of plays more into style, but the definition is a garment in such a style or the prevailing style as in dress during a particular time. And so what is BBL fashion? BBL fashion is something that I've been seeing a lot on Twitter and TikTok. There was this comment that someone made on a particular rapper's TikTok, or like a video of her on TikTok, and I was like, BBL fashion is so interesting. She has a waist trainer and Birkin. And then if you search BBL fashion on Twitter, a lot of things come up. So this is a phrase that's been pretty popular as of late. What I believe to be BBL fashion is pretty much like two things. It's really a way of dressing where you show off your body, and there's a certain shape that people are thinking of when it comes to BBL fashion, or it's the way of dressing where you're aiming to maintain your shape. So wearing the waist trainer, it's the fupas, body, the undergarment things like kind of visibly. So wearing like shapewear, that kind of stuff to kind of maintain that shape. So I definitely think it's two-folded. So when people are talking about the fashion, they talk about how a lot of clothing now has a lot of excessive cutouts, lace-ups, very short, very tight, clings to the body, forms to the body, that kind of thing. I feel like BBL fashion, it's definitely heightened by surgeries, because a lot of people are getting those surgeries and a lot of people have more access to getting those surgeries. I see BBL fashion kind of as an extension of clothing worn by sex workers, in the sense that a lot of sheer mesh see-through materials, a lot of cutouts, a lot of like bright bold colors, spandex, tight stuff, that kind of thing, and it's not in a shameful way at all. Then it comes to the fact that people talk about a specific body type. So it's that very exaggerated hourglass shape, a small waist, wide hips, busty. And that is pretty much the BBL body shape that people think about. Of course, everyone that has a BBL, that's not exactly how it looks like, but that's just the one that people bring up. Like when people mention BBL, that's what comes to mind. The thing with fashion is people, like I'll see people talking about, oh, all these brands are just making it so it's this BBL body type. It's this body type. They're just making clothes for this body type. Fashion, unfortunately, has always catered to a certain body type, and the body type is pretty much always gonna be thin. The girls with the BBLs, they're still thin at the end of the day. Like, yes, they have curves, they're thick, but they're still thin. Clothing brands that they talk about the most are gonna be the Fashion Nova and the Pretty Little Thing. And when you look at the models on those websites, personally, I don't shop there, but when you see the models on the websites, they have that shape. And there's this one particular model, I don't really know what her name is, Jody? I don't know. Kudos to her, because she's been in the game for a minute, but she has that shape that, you see the people dressing. And, if that's what your models look like, that's probably what they're going for, because I don't know if everybody knows this, but a lot of brands have a fit model. So it's someone that has the brand's ideal shape that they fit clothing on and kind of adjust things to their liking. When they do a collection, when they do clothes, like they fit the clothes on them, get the right fit for that model. It might be multiple models, And they're usually not a runway model. We have seen it where it's like Naomi Campbell was the fit model for Aliyah, and she was also a runway model. So sometimes there are instances like that. Yeah, brands have fit models, and usually those models that you see, they might not be exactly who they're going to use, but they're a representation of that. They'll have this similar shape, they'll have a similar body type. So yes, there is a body type that these brands go after, and yes, fashion labels, the fashion industry does go after a certain body type, and whether it has a little bit more curves, whatever, it's gonna be thin. Because you know, Teryn, when Victoria's Secret came out with like more of an athletic, sporty look, it's ever changing, but as we can see, one of the common denominators is that they're always gonna be thin. And if you look at high fashion, it's still thin. It's not gonna be the curvy look that the fast fashion brands are going for. And when it comes to these fast fashion brands, they're definitely going after girls that are one and done when it comes to clothing. They want to go to the club, take a picture. They want to go out to brunch, take a picture, and then they're done with it. And we can get into that type of consumption when it comes to garments later, but that's usually what they go for. Like, the clothes are not meant to last. They're meant to look cute in a picture, cute on video, and then be done with it. So it is what it is. And then, because some people are saying, okay, so if that's not the type of clothing that you want to wear, like, find someone else. And I would agree with that. However, you have to consider, like, are the other brands that you're recommending, are they size inclusive? And that, again, can also be another video. Support other labels, other brands, other designers that design things that you want to see among your preferences, and that they design with the attributes that you look for or the attributes that you don't want, and support them. Of course, like I mentioned, size inclusivity, that's the one thing. Access point when it comes to pricing is another thing, but do what you can, and if I can provide any resources, I will. One thing that I have noticed as a fashion designer is some of the dress forms will have this particular body shape, and that's nothing against that body shape. Some people are born with it, some people buy it, it's okay. What I will say is sometimes it is odd to me that these dress forms, which is a 3-dimensional form, it's kind of like a mannequin, but you can actually put pins in it, where you basically like use it to frame your design, so you can drape on it, make alterations on it, and just like fit it to this form. Some of these forms that I've seen have this BBL body type, so it's like a really, really small waist and wide hips. And of course, nowadays you can definitely get these dress forms custom made. So like if there's a particular measurement that you want, if you have a particular size chart that you want to follow, if you have a high-end client or like a client that you always use and they ask for like custom clothing meant for them, you might get them a customized dress form. However, what I've noticed is that some designers, and I'm not gonna really call anyone out because it's not really something to call people out on, but they do for sure design clothes for this particular body shape. So yes, some people are really out there designing clothes for the BBL shape, which I don't know what else to call, like an exaggerated hourglass, I would say. It can be hard to find companies that accommodate what you prefer in designs, for sure, and especially because so many things have moved to just being online, and it's hard to tell like what the quality is. Like, how is this gonna look on me because it's online? But we'll be doing some more content on that later on this channel, so make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and as always, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment for more videos. Thank you again.